Hello and welcome to the April edition of the Wisconsin River District Roundtable. I am Sarah and I'm coming to you straight from my backyard. This is our first 100% virtual roundtable, and as cool as I think this is going to be, I kind of hope it's our last. I really miss seeing you all you guys. So what we're going to do today is you're going to get a little bit of a visit from some different people. Kenzie is going to give you some announcements. Lacey is going to join us and she is going to give you some updates from council, district, national, a few things maybe about scouting from home. And then since we're all stuck at home, this is a perfect time. Justin is going to talk to you about doing annual planning. So before I go, I just want to let you guys know that we completely understand that this time is difficult. It's not super easy to keep your units engaged, have your scouters engaged. So we're here for you. We are totally here. Whatever you need from us, reach out to us via Facebook, email, telephone, text, however's easiest for you, and let us know what you need from us. But also, if you have any really great ideas or success stories, share those with us, because we'd love to pop them over and make sure everybody else is aware of what you're doing as well. We all can use as much help as we can at this time. So for those of you who have to be out, whether you're essential workers or you're running some essential errands, please remember, stay safe, stay 6 feet away from each other if at all possible. Until we are able to meet in person again, I hope you guys have a great day and we'll see you soon. Bye now.
Hi everybody, it's Lacey. I just want to first off say thank you to Sarah for welcoming us tonight to the first ever virtual roundtable. She's right, this is nice, but I hope we don't have to continue forward with it. I'd like to also say thank you to Justin and Mackenzie for helping out with the rest of the roundtable virtual meeting tonight. And a big thanks to you for watching this from home and for staying involved in scouting and continuing the movement. So that being said, I would like to reiterate 2 points that Sarah made in her intro. One being that we are here to serve you and your unit. If you guys need help or if you're struggling with anything at home, scouting still remains the same program, and just because we can't meet in person, we are here to help you. So whatever resources or materials you may need to continue on with your scouting adventure, please reach out to us. We're here to help you. The second thing that Sarah said that I'd like to recap on is just the fact that we would love to share whatever stories you guys have or whatever scouting from home experiences you are seeing. So whether that be struggles you're facing, positives, new opportunities for learning about scouting, share it with us. We would love, love, love to promote that on social media and share that with other units within our council that may need it right now. Before I turn this over to Mackenzie, I would just like to give a brief update on the Glacier's Edge Council and the Wisconsin River District. As of March 16th, we are no longer holding in-person meetings until at least April 17th, and that goes for council and district. We highly encourage the units to keep meeting virtually. If you have any issues with that, please reach out to us. We'd love to help you out with the technology side of things and just kind of getting set up, because those virtual meetings are really, really benefiting the units that can't meet in person right now. Obviously, the safety of the youth, the members, the volunteers, our staff is of the highest priority, and we want everyone to stay safe throughout this indefinite and unfamiliar times. So we're all kind of going through the uncharted waters together right now. If you have anything that you need help with, please reach out to us. Enjoy this virtual roundtable. I'll see you guys later on in the presentation. For right now, I'm going to turn it over to Mackenzie.
Now for an update on our council and district events. The Venturing Weekend, previously scheduled for April 3rd through April 5th, is canceled. Contact Event Chair Bob Hornby for more information. Our district committee meeting this Thursday, April 9th, will be held virtually. Web conferencing information will be sent out with the agenda. Our Spring Baloo and IOLS training is rescheduled to September 26th through the 27th and will be held at Ed Bryant Scout Reservation. Our council's Pinewood Derby is postponed until further notice. Our district commissioner call is scheduled for April 23rd. Web conferencing information will be sent out with the agenda. The Hunger Games Camporee, previously scheduled for April 24th through the 26th, is canceled. However, our Camporee committee may save the theme for our next camporee. And finally, our council's wood batch course is rescheduled for May 1st through the 3rd and May 30th through the 31st at Camp Indian Trails. Despite the cancellations, we are looking forward to our future camping opportunities. As of right now, summer camp will continue at Camp Indian Trails. Families are encouraged to proceed with registration. If anything changes, adjustments and refunds will be made as appropriate. Families, dens, and packs can register for a 4-day sleepover camp, a 2-day overnight camp, or a 3-day camp on our council's website. Remember, strong packs camp together, so bring the whole crew. While you're on the Glacier's Edge website, check out the Cubbaree event scheduled for May 5th through the 6th. With so much time spent indoors this spring, this is a great opportunity to spend some scouting time outdoors. This is turning out to be a record-setting year for EBSR attendance. There are still a few slots available for troops to sign up, so register now. Lastly, don't forget to register your Webelos for their first True Scouts BSA experience at EBSR's Webelos Sleepover Camp on August 2nd through the 5th. This program is the perfect way to kickstart your Webelos Scouts journey into the next chapter of scouting, and it's so much fun. Back to Lacey to discuss our product sales.
Hello again, everybody. Just one quick mention before we get started with my segment. I wanted to bring to your attention that there is a PowerPoint presentation we're sending out alongside these videos. For all of the information that we're discussing with you, feel free to use that PowerPoint as a tool to click on links or get more available information about some of the things we're discussing with you. If you have any questions or something's not working for you, please reach out and I can help you out with that. Other than that, I will go into my spiel. We are going to talk about product sales. Right now we have the flower sale. Flower sale is now ended. However, the flowers will be delivered from May 18th to May 22nd, and payments will be due May 29th. We also have the camp card sale still going on that was extended due to the coronavirus. And right now, payments and camp cards are expected to be delivered back to the office by April 24th. Obviously, we are in an uncertain time and we can't be certain when this will all go away. So as of now, plan for that, and details will come out later if we find out more information regarding the virus and how it affects the Glacier's Edge Council. Aside from that, we also have the popcorn sale. The Glacier's Edge Council decided to make the switch from Camp Masters to Trails End Popcorn, and we had 2 offered dinners discussing a little bit more about the details of that popcorn sale. And unfortunately, the second one was canceled due to the virus, and the first one did happen. If you were able to make that, you probably got some insight or details about the sale. However, if you didn't, and you were signed up to go to the second one, you should have received an email from Trails End saying some of the things you missed and maybe some updates. If you didn't get that, let me know and I can forward that over to you. Otherwise, our district popcorn chair, Ann Goff, will be sending out some details and information in the email to all of our units very soon in the near future. So she's awesome, she's a rock star, great at the popcorn sale, and she'll be able to help you out with some of the questions you may have regarding selling popcorn. Right now I will go over to unit information. So in the unit information, I just want to make sure you're all aware that the Glacier's Edge Council has been working on a Scouting from Home webpage on the website, and it's under activities. You just scroll down and you'll find Scouting from Home. Ed Elder, the Council Advancement Chair, and Nick Rose at the office have been working on this. It's still a work in progress. If you have anything you'd like to add to it, please let us know. We know that we can't find all of the information that maybe some of our units have access to. So if you found anything awesome over the last few weeks that you'd like to see on that webpage, please let us know and we can add that to it to help all of our other units out. Otherwise, if you haven't headed over to that, please check it out. There's a lot of good resources and materials on there regarding advancement, merit badges, working from home, on scouting, activities, going outside and getting certain things done. So please check it out. It's a really great tool. The other thing I'd like to mention at this time for the units is Scouting for Food. Thank you so much to all the units that participated in Scouting for Food. We so appreciate you doing that during this crazy and chaotic time. And a lot of the communities I know appreciate it too, especially the food banks that you help out. I know that Mineral Point, Pack 337, got noticed in their paper, their local papers. So If you guys have any cool pictures or you want to share that with your local newspaper, I think they need some good news right about now, and I think that seeing the Scouts in action would be a very friendly topic to read about. So consider doing that. Other than that, alongside Scouting for Food, I did send an email out to all the units that participated, and we have a link that you can click on that will let you update all of your stats and all the details about your Scouting for Food event with your unit this year. It helps us kind of log for next year and look into what we can do better to provide service for the Scouting for Food that you guys do each year. So please fill that out, and also remember to log your service hours. I know every year everyone waits till the very end of the year, but if you can get that taken care of right now, you won't have to worry about it later. And we have a little bit of downtime right now, so I'm gonna hold you guys to getting those hours in. So please, please, please wrap up your Scouting for Food documentation. Other than that, we have some other resources in the PowerPoint regarding updating your unit PIN. Membership season is gonna be just around the corner right after spring wraps up here, so make sure your PIN is updated, and stay tuned for May Roundtable. We're working on some membership items right now, and we'll get that out to you at a later time when it's closer to the date. Other than that, stay safe, everybody. I really appreciate your time today, taking a moment just to kind of stay with Scouting and keep up to date with us. We appreciate everything you do. Stay safe, keep your family safe, and if you celebrate Easter, have a happy Easter. Thanks, bye-bye.
Hi everyone, Justin O'Rourke here, Wisconsin River District Chairman. Today putting on my commissioner hat to provide you with a program on annual program planning for PACs and troops. I'm going to start off first by talking generally about annual planning, and then I'll get a little more specific about PACs and then Scouts BSA troops. So why are annual plans important? First of all, it allows busy families to plan around Scouting. So a lot of times we have this assumption that Scouting can just schedule around everything else in our Scouts' lives, like baseball and theater and whatever else they're involved with. Now, it's great that they're involved in those other things, but we don't need to put off our plans just to wait for the other organizations. They aren't doing that for us. So build your annual plan, and what you're going to see is if you have fun and exciting things, those Scouts will end up planning baseball and theater and all those other things around Scouting. Also, having an annual plan can give Scouts better opportunities. So consider a community event, maybe coming up next week, and you think to yourself, gosh, it'd be really nice to get our Scouts involved with that, but it's just too late at that point. So pre-planning and having enough time to make sure that everything's in place will give those Scouts the best opportunities possible. Also, consider a new family coming, especially Cub Scouts. Consider the fall recruitment event. New family comes, they sign up, and you have the opportunity to hand them a written schedule for everything that's going to happen for the next 12 months. You're showing them the adventure. You're showing them everything they're paying for, everything they're signing up for, and you're getting the kids and the families really excited to participate in Scouting. Moreover, you're showing them that you have a unit that is stable, that is organized, that thinks ahead, and they aren't just joining some roughshod organization hoping that things are going to go well for them. And also, a good program and an annual plan increases retention. If the more events kids know that they can attend, or that they can know in advance to attend, the more they will attend, the more they're going to stick around because they're participating in Scouting at a higher level. And then when to develop the annual plan. All units do this differently. One method is by using the program year. So for Cub Scouts, oftentimes the program year is September through May. If you have a summer program, and hopefully you do, it would be September through August. A lot of units, because of that, will start their annual planning in late June, early July. It goes about a month, and then by mid-August, they're ready to go with their whole year's plan. Also, another method is calendar year. A lot of Scouts BSA units do this, where they start their planning in November or December. They have their annual planning conference in January to plan out their entire year. And then the final method would be to align it with the council's program cycle or program planning cycle. You can find the annual plan for the council on glaciersedge.org, and that usually comes out late April, early May. So aligning it with that can also allow you to make sure that you get those key district and council events on your calendars before you try to fill them in with other things. Key information that you want to gather, including school dates, district and council dates, which you can find on the Glacier's Edge website, community event dates, things like perhaps you have a Memorial Day parade that you march in every year, or a festival that you have a fundraising booth at, community event dates, charter organization dates, personal dates like a Cub Masters vacation, family talent surveys, and then also the previous annual plan. Now, family talent surveys are a unique tool that a lot of units haven't used, and it's a form that you can find online on scouting.org. And the family talent survey allows you to ask your existing families, existing parents, what kind of skills, hobbies, professions they have, learn a little bit more about them, and also ask them what they're willing to help out with. So it's a good way to get them engaged, to give them a little task to do, and to also utilize their talents and skills right within your Cub Scout pack. Also, the previous annual plan. Now, I'll caution you with reviewing the previous annual plan. You don't want to just hit reset and provide the same program you did the year before. What's important here is that every unit has a few things that they do every single year, and reviewing the previous annual plan will help you determine what needs to be done the next year. Oftentimes, that start, stop, continue mentality is encouraged when reviewing the previous annual plan. Also, who do you include on the planning conference? So definitely include the Cub Master and the PAC committee. That includes den leaders, the committee chair, the charter org rep, and the remaining committee members. Also, you may want to include your unit commissioner in kind of a coaching role. However, unit commissioner on the planning conference can be really helpful for a new unit or a unit that's new to annual planning. Parents are a good idea to bring in and make them part of the process. Now, if you have a smaller unit, bringing all those parents together, it's very easy. If you have a large unit, let's say 60 people or 60 kids, you may have a really large crowd of parents there, making it nearly impossible to make any decisions and get anything done. So develop a method of incorporating their ideas or gathering their ideas beforehand of activities they'd like to do, or feedback they have for the next year, and then maybe just narrow that down at a committee level. However, make sure that when you're gathering that information from them on things they want to do, that you know who these things are coming from, because you have a real opportunity to put a new parent in charge of an activity that was their idea and see how they do with it. And who knows, maybe they'll become your next activities chair. Also, make sure that you review your budget. It will help you determine how much flexibility you have as far as your activities go. And advancement needs. More than ever now with Scoutbook, we have a high level of visibility on who needs what requirements completed for advancement. Oftentimes, advancement for Cub Scouting looks very similar year to year because the Scouts just move from one rank to the next in a very timed manner. But do take a look at advancement needs and figure out, what maybe something fell short this year, and next year they want to address that. And then also other awards and other goals. So the awards, which include things like the Journey to Excellence, the National Summertime PAC Award, and the National Den Award, can help you set the plan. Use those awards as your guide. So within those award requirements, there are a lot of things that say you need X amount of activities per year. You need X amount of committee meetings per year. And you'll see that, for example, on the Journey to Excellence page, there are a variety of things that I highlighted here, and then also on the next slide, that are good to look at when you're doing your annual planning for a PAC. Things like having 8 PAC meetings a year, things like going for the Summertime PAC Award, which also for the National Summertime PAC Award, you will also see that it requires 3 PAC activities, one in June, July, and August. So it's good to review those things and make sure that you're covering those when you're planning your calendar. The one other thing is that there's a National Den Award, and a lot of DENs don't know about that. So there's the PAC planning, but then the DEN leaders, they kind of fill in the spaces sometimes. And this is one of those things that DEN leaders can take and use as their own guide to make sure that they're they're providing a quality program within their DEN. When you're building the calendar, one of the things that works really well for PACs is to not just do an annual calendar, but to go a little bit beyond the year. So, for example, if you're doing an annual calendar that runs from September through August, it'd be a good idea to go from September through September or October of the next year, because then you're including your next annual planning conference and you're including your next recruitment event. So you already commit to the date for your next recruitment event, and then you're not in July still trying to figure that out while you have people from district and council asking you, when is your school night for scouting date? So consider doing, maybe a 13 or 14 month plan. And those things can always be adjusted, but it is nice to just have some sort of a commitment that far out. When you're doing the annual planning meeting, you want to establish a calendar system. Maybe that's a desk calendar or oversized poster size calendars on the wall or something like that. But definitely have something there that you can track and you can keep track of. Some people use Google Calendar or Scoutbooks Calendar, put it up on the wall on a projector, something like that. That's certainly an option too. So you'll want to enter the dates by priority. So you'll have your notable dates like your school dates, like vacations, spring break, that kind of stuff, holidays, any other community dates. Maybe the Super Bowl is a good one to avoid doing anything over. But then you have your non-negotiable dates like Scout Sunday. You have your popcorn sale, your local parade, your district and council events like the fall family camp, or maybe you go to Boo in the Woods every year or something like that. And certainly Camp Indian Trail Summer Camp, you're going to want that on your calendar. Scouting for food, any other service projects you do. So then you have your PAC meetings, and you need to plug those PAC meetings in. It's really important that when you're putting those PAC meetings in, you set the date and let the Cub Master kind of work with the Den leaders to figure out the themes for those and what will be accomplished at those. That doesn't necessarily have to be done when you're planning the annual calendar, but should be done shortly thereafter. PAC activities, things like campouts and outings, service projects, the Blue and Gold, your Pinewood Derby or your Rain Gutter Regatta, whatever you do, you can plug those in. And then after that, then the Den meeting dates can go in there, and then the Den outings sort of fill in the blanks as the Den leaders see necessary. And the last thing is to publish your calendar. So I've seen units go through all of the work and struggle of putting together this great calendar, but they never get it out to their families. Whether you do that through a public calendar on your website, through Scoutbooks calendaring system, or you literally just print the calendar out and you pass it out to everybody, as long as everybody gets a version of it, that's what matters. And also have a plan in place to get new families a current version of the calendar as soon as they join. That's why things like Google Calendar or Scoutbooks Calendar are really nice, because you can link units, or you can link new members up to it pretty quickly. And for more information, you can go to the Scout Shop and get the Cub Scout Leader Book, and that will have more details about the annual planning process in there. And I wish you the best of luck on creating your annual program. Now on to the Troop Annual Planning Conference. So what's unique about the Troop Annual Planning Conference is that the youth run the conference portion. So I should say with the guidance of the Scoutmaster. So it's important that you do your homework as a Scoutmaster and make sure that you meet with your senior patrol leader and that you're gathering the correct information. If you just watch the PAC portion of the annual planning program, you'll notice that there's a lot of similarities here in what you need to gather. You want to evaluate last year's plan, gather the district and council event dates, things like the community dates, the school dates, personal dates that might be of conflict, and also review the advancement status for the scouts. And once you've done all of that, work with the senior patrol leader to organize the goals and priorities for the upcoming year. One other thing that a scoutmaster should really do is get with the committee before the planning process starts. Really feel them out and see if there's going to be any issues they're going to have beforehand. Maybe in the previous year, they were really disappointed that there weren't enough of a certain type of activity. They'd really like to see more of it. Try to make sure that the senior patrol leader, the PLC, knows where they're coming from and what they would like to see as well. That way you don't finish out making this calendar and then your unit committee or your your unit key 3 or even your charter org says, you know what, I really don't like this this calendar, these things in this calendar. We need you guys to go back to the drawing board and change those. So ask the questions so that you can anticipate the needs of those people who will have to ultimately approve this. So when you're developing an outline, once again, include those school dates and the holidays. You'll want to, when you're developing this outline, not to get too detailed, because this will be just between the scoutmaster and the senior patrol leader. And with that outline, the entire PLC at that annual planning conference will end up developing the final calendar. So the outline is just the basics. It's those non-negotiable dates. So we have to do Scout Sunday every year in a lot of our units. Popcorn sale is kind of a must for a lot of our units. Local parades or the district camporee, the Order of the Arrow dates. There's actually an award that units can get, the Unit of Excellence Award for Order of the Arrow, where one of the requirements is that they actively plan around the Order of the Arrow conferences and the winter banquets. So take a look at those things. Most of our units do scouting for food every year. And then certainly make sure that Ed Bryan Scout Reservation Summer Camp is in your calendar. And with those things like summer camp, I even recommend going a little bit farther out. So one thing that I recommend for PACs is that they go about 13 months to 14 months as far as their annual plan goes. A lot of really successful troops are doing 16 to 18 months out. And that way they can make sure that they schedule things like the next 2 summers of summer camp. And they also make sure that they don't get done with their current 12-month cycle and then not know what they're doing the next month. By adding on at least 3 or 4 months, your scouts know what to expect. And there's never just like a 30-day period of time between the annual planning conference and the last thing they have planned. So yeah, make sure that the outline includes all of those things. And then you're going to move on to get the patrol's input. So after your outline is set, you have a lot of space to fill in. You have all of your meetings, you have all of those extra weekend activities and campouts and that kind of thing. So the senior patrol leader should share those goals and that general outline with the patrol leaders. Patrol leaders go back to their patrols and they discuss their ideas. And the patrol, the best way to do this is to have the patrol leader go out to a marker board or a piece of big piece of paper up on the wall, and just start collecting ideas from everybody. It's really important to coach the senior patrol leader to coach the patrol leaders not to turn down ideas. The funnest things that I've seen in scouting have come from the craziest ideas. So you may have a scout that says, gosh, let's go zombie hunting. And then you're, okay, that's just a scout making a joke. But that could turn into something really neat. Like maybe you could do zombie first aid or something like that. And so make sure that all those ideas go up on the board, and then we can see what's feasible later. And then once they do that, they discuss all their ideas. They need to prioritize those ideas, write them down on a piece of paper, and bring that piece of paper to the annual planning conference. So the patrol leader brings all those patrol's ideas to the annual planning conference where they'll advocate for those ideas. Now, who attends the annual planning conference? This should include the senior patrol leader, the assistant senior patrol leader, patrol leaders, and then the troop guide or troop guides if you happen to have 2 troop guides in your unit. Those are the people who are active in the planning session. In a supportive role, the Scoutmaster attends, Assistant Scoutmasters, the Junior Assistant Scoutmaster, the committee members can attend, and then the Charter Org representative. Now, I offer some caution to make sure that there aren't too many adults in the room. Now, of course, at our scouting events, parents are always welcome at everything. So there's nothing to hide there. But what we want to emphasize, or what I want to emphasize, is just that when you have too many parents sitting at the table when this planning is happening, they tend to overrun the youth with opinions and ideas and that kind of thing. So it's important that the parents get together beforehand and the Scoutmaster has a conversation with them and just says, hey, love to have you guys there. If you really hear something that you need to bring up, then let me know. But really, the Scoutmaster should be the only one providing coaching and guidance during that meeting to the youth, and that's going to prevent the youth from getting confused and for them feeling like the adults have just taken the wheel from them. So the senior patrol leader runs that meeting. The Scoutmaster's role is to kind of interject from time to time and get them back on track with things. Now, it should also be stated that if the scouts go into that meeting and they're saying, well, we want to have every one of our scout meetings this year just be board games. We're going to do board games at every scout meeting. That's all we're going to do. At some point, the Scoutmaster does have the responsibility of stepping in and saying, hey, you guys, this is a good thing to do at some meetings, but we have to make sure that we're doing scouting activities, that we're providing a scouting program to the members. So don't take that 100% youth-led mentality, but don't take 100% Scoutmaster run mentality either. So just know that as a Scoutmaster, you're within your role to step in and say, you guys, we need to make sure that there's a variety of activities here, or the activities that you're proposing are not appropriate for the scouting program. Now, when you hold the planning conference, it's recommended that you hold it in an unfamiliar place. If you do it in your regular meeting space, this can cause distractions and sometimes also just getting those scouts out of that environment in a new place makes them generate new ideas. If you have them in the same old place, their head is just right where they are, and they're just thinking about all the things they've done in that same room for years. So if you want them to come up with new ideas, bring them somewhere they haven't been before. The Scoutmaster should begin the meeting by reviewing the troops' goals and discussing how the conference will work, basically the rules of the game, talking about how the senior patrol leader is going to run it. Everybody should make sure that they're respecting the other patrol leaders' opinions, and that there's a balance, that each patrol is getting their ideas heard and implemented, that kind of thing. And then the Scoutmaster distributes a copy of the outline that we discussed before to the participants, and the senior patrol leader takes over from there and leads a discussion with the patrol leaders about what their ideas are. Now, these ideas might go from, what kind of theme they want to have for the month. It might be what kind of activities they want to do. And it might, or activities like as far as camping goes, places they want to go. And it might have to do with what kind of things they want to do at their meetings. I've seen 3 of these annual planning conferences happen myself, and all 3 went very well when the senior patrol leader ran the meeting, and the senior patrol leader tended to do a really good job at making sure everybody's opinions were included. Now, after that's done, there's going to be some loose ends that need to be tied up. Try to resolve any of those and follow up with them promptly. You don't want to have your annual planning conference happen and then there's just a few things to take care of and it goes months without them getting done, because eventually things start to slip through the cracks and all of a sudden you don't have an annual calendar anymore. So finish those things up right away. Oftentimes those are things like reaching out to a campsite or campground to see if they allow camping or scout groups camping there. That's something small like that. But also you're going to want to take that calendar, run it past your committee, make sure the committee is okay with it. Once again, if the Scoutmaster did his or her job, they'll know whether or not the committee is going to approve it beforehand. The committee really shouldn't deny it unless there's something just egregious in there, like something that goes against the Guide to Safe Scouting, or if there's a situation, once again, like, well, these scouts are just playing board games every single meeting, or they're not doing any conservation projects, and the committee really wants to see that. Remember that the scouts' opinions do matter in this. They form their program, but once again, that program does need to be consistent with the scouting program too. And then finally, publish your calendar. This is a part that's missed all the time. Make sure every family gets a copy of that calendar in their hands, or that you have a Google Calendar system, or you're using Scoutbook to publish that calendar. And make sure that you have a way for your brand new members, whether they're crossovers or they're just walk-in members. Make sure you have a way to get those members a calendar immediately when they sign up. And then if you have any questions about the annual planning conference, it can get a lot more detailed than that. And for more of those details, the Scout Shop offers the Troop Leader Guidebook, which is a fantastic book for all Scoutmasters, committee members, assistant Scoutmasters. It has everything that you want about the scouting program in there. And then also there's the Senior Patrol Leader Guidebook, or Handbook rather. And there's also a Patrol Leader Handbook, and you can get those at the Scout office as well, or the Scout Shop. And those are tools for your Senior Patrol Leader and your Patrol Leader that will walk them through the annual planning process as well.
Hey, so I'm on my way to work to deal with the coronavirus, but keep yourself safe, stay home. Thanks for watching the Roundtable Digital Online, and if you need things, reach out to your unit commissioner or your District Key 3, Kevin, Justin, and Lacey. Thanks, stay safe.